Hi guys, Kim here. What time is it and why time is the enemy? Have you guys really noticed how much time and calendars govern our lives? What is a calendar? It's the absolute dead center of any civilization. Why? Everything in that civilization revolves around its calendar. Due dates, bill dates, when you're supposed to be at work, when you're supposed to go to school, how long you're meant to be there for, when you're supposed to graduate, how old you are, birthdays, celebrations. The illusion we're living in is governed by time, and once we let go of time, the illusion will lose its grip on our world. Why? Simply because intuition is our personal power, and time and calendar focus is a tool of our enemy. It's a thing that shuts down our intuition, which is our biggest asset. So how do we harness our intuition? By stopping allowing ourselves to be governed by time. That sounds silly, right? We all got to go to work, get transport, shop when shops are open, eat during breaks. I'm pretty sure that all of us have experienced that feeling at work where you look at your watch and it's 9:05, then ages pass and you look at your watch again and it's 9:07. Or being at work and counting the minutes until you finish work and you can go home. This type of focus has to stop. It's inbred in us, and it's almost our own natural state. If you can, rather than being woke by an alarm in the morning, tell yourself to wake up at the appropriate time. You will be amazed. We've got an inbuilt clock that works. And if it doesn't work and you are late for work, then apologize to your boss and tell him that you were abducted by aliens or something. If we can let go of time, then something will happen. Our intuitions will start firing up once we open intuition up. So it's our operating system rather than our mind being our focus. We can have a much easier time in this reality. Simply because I think our intuition is our heart guide and our mind is our intellectual guide. The concept within the Mayan and Aztec teachings were to center their consciousness in creation, which was what their calendar was based on. This gave them a greater insight into operating naturally within nature. Our current reality is focused on time. Time is a man-made concept, and when I think back as to how much stress working within a time frame has created for me over the decades, I can see how this focus on time was simply not healthy. Even now I get frustrated if I have to wait for too long for something. I seem to still have that perception that time is precious, or that there could be something else that I could be doing rather than waiting around for a bus for hours or holding on the line for 2 hours for somebody to answer a phone. This is one of those aspects to me that's changing inside of me, but it's a very hard one to dislodge from my consciousness forever. So the emphasis for now is to focus our consciousness on the ebb and flow, recognizing natural patterns, observing the garden, observing the seasons, observing that which is natural. And if you've got to wait 40 minutes for a bus, then rather than using that time focusing on your mobile phone, focus instead on nature. Watch the birds in the sky or the clouds. Then recognize how much better you feel for doing this. Acknowledge this feeling with gratitude. Leave things flexible when organizing gatherings, or do not organize it at all. There was a time when I lived in the center of town, and there was a coffee shop right opposite where I lived. And I'd simply think, I might go for a coffee now. And sure enough, within maybe 20 minutes, there was like 20 of us there. And none of us had made any pre-arranged arrangements. None of us sent each other texts. And it wasn't even at a regular time or a regular day. It just happened naturally. This is one of the bad things about mobile phones, is that it takes away our natural intuition. And we end up managing our lives rather than just letting it happen. The flow rate of creation is speeding up all the time. And time is one of the factors that we need to control, or it will stress us out as the time rate increases. Once the focus in us has changed to observing patterns of just being, then our intuition increases exponentially. Remember that intuition is our personal power, that once we begin to harness that, we will be compelled to change. Our focus begins to be less and less governed, and therefore the need to be governed simply drops away. And then the system which is controlling us also drops away. This will be an awareness rather than something that will just happen overnight. But please be mindful when experiencing stress because of time and refocus your attention away from it. Or at least recognize why the time is causing you stress and change that in you so it doesn't cause you any stress in the future. Me, I hate waiting with a passion, and I'm trying to harness that and bring it into balance. I think that the more that we can locate the source of stress in our daily lives, the more we can relieve ourselves of it. The governing bodies of this world would have distorted our perception through getting us to focus so much of our lives around this one little thing. Anyway, that's it from me for now.